Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Thanks for stopping by. Let's start off with some very exciting news, which is apparently NASA says that they will be having a big announcement coming this next Monday regarding, quote, surprising activity happening on Europa. Now, for those of you who don't know, Europa is the icy moon of Jupiter. And if you've watched our past videos, a topic of much mystery and excitement due to the fact that Europa is probably the best candidate that we know of right now in our entire solar system to host alien life. Now, although it is an ice-covered world, mind-numbingly cold temperatures, scientists have felt for a long time now that there is a likelihood of a massive underground ocean resting miles beneath its icy outer core, wherein which this alien life would likely thrive. And so NASA is going to be holding a press conference next Monday to present some new findings about this, quote, surprising activity, more specifically about evidence of this subsurface ocean. Now, from all the information about this that I can find, unfortunately, you probably won't want to get your hopes up about them talking about alien life or anything like that. That's not going to be the focus of this announcement. And we've only got bits and pieces so far, but what NASA has said is that these findings come from the Hubble Space Telescope. They've taken some images of Europa and definitely have to do with activity that may be related to the presence of a subsurface ocean on this icy moon of Jupiter. So, this is actually pretty exciting news, because scientists that have studied Europa have long suspected that this ocean underneath the surface is thriving and is very similar to our own ocean, in that the oceans are very salty, just like our own. Furthermore, NASA calculated that the chemical balance of Europa's oceans would be nearly identical to the ones found here on our planet, suggesting that there would be enough oxygen and hydrogen within the waters that life could exist. And there have been other pieces of evidence that indicate that this vast ocean exists, such as these huge water vapor plumes that have been seen blasting out of Europa's surface, as you're seeing in these images here. Scientists have also found that the top crust of the moon is actually coated in sea salt. So you guys may be asking yourselves, how is it that this icy cold moon that is located 500 million miles away from our sun on the outskirts of our solar system could harbor an Earth-like ocean? Well, we have an answer for that too. And it's believed that Jupiter has such a strong tidal pull on Europa that it's constantly pulling and stretching and compressing the moon to the point where there's enough energy and heat created that the water underneath continues sloshing around and is warmed up enough to sustain life. So really the answer is gravity that allows this moon to sustain this vast ocean underneath. And where we have found water, H2O, we have always found life. And so it's very exciting news. We will definitely be reporting on it next Monday. In the past, we've mentioned a really cool film that if you haven't seen yet, be sure to check it out. It's called the Europa Report, and it's a documentary-style movie that follows a crew of astronauts who take a spaceship out and land on the surface of Europa, where they drill down, send a probe down into this ocean underneath, and what they find just may surprise you. So if you haven't checked that film out, definitely do. It's a really great film, really awesome, and it gives you a bit of an idea what Europa will look like when we actually do visit. So we will look out for that announcement. Now, in other news, fellow researchers have discovered what may be a crash site of some sort found in a new Mars rover image. You're seeing that photograph here. The link to it's down in the video description. We have a typical view of the rocky Martian surface, and there's a couple anomalous things in this photograph. The first being is what looks like an object hovering in the sky in the distance. And we'll go ahead and zoom in on that in just a second, but the main focus of this finding pertains to this object here on the right side of the photo. You may be able to see it sticking out already, but I'll go ahead and circle it. It's right here. And we'll go ahead and zoom in here. So this is the structure in question, sort of sitting up, towering up high above the Martian surface. It's not laying flat, whatever it is, and it has a very strange structure to it. Some are saying that it has a spaceship-like structure. Could this be a crashed ship? And whatever this object is, it's very large because of the distance of how far away it is from the rover's camera. So this is very large, and it's very strange if it is a rock formation. Very strange, because it looks like a circular object, and then if you look at the back, it has these sort of two prongs that look to be identical. And although this object seems partially buried or partially obstructed by this hill here, you can see what looks like a second prong coming out of the back of it, identical to this one on the top. Here is a zoomed-in, enhanced version, just to give you an idea of what exactly we're talking about here and what the object would look like against the red Martian terrain. Here we have colored the object in a silver color, and what was really mind-blowing about this to me is how closely this object looks to the Baltic Sea anomaly. Now, if you don't know what the Baltic Sea anomaly is, here's a photograph of it right here. And what it is a 60-meter in diameter circular formation, craft, object on the floor of the northern Baltic Sea that was discovered by the Ocean X diving team back in June 2011. And you can see, looking at the back of this thing, it has these similar sort of fork or prong-like structures coming out of the back of it. And this anomalous structure at the bottom of the sea has been known to cause electronics to short out when they got too close to it. And to this day, it's still sitting down there, and scientists or geologists, they cannot account for its existence, where it came from, or how it got there. What we do know is that it looks like a big damn alien spaceship that is sitting at the bottom of this ocean here. But again, look at the similarities between that and this object captured on Mars. And let me know whether you guys think it's just a rock formation or if there's something to this. I mean, this thing is definitely, it looks like it's sitting on its side, whatever it is, and it has a structure to it. Now, real quick, let's go ahead and move over to this object seen in the sky. We'll go ahead and zoom in here. And yet again, it's another faint object. We've talked about these things many times. You see them in a lot of these rover images. Things are flying over the surface of Mars, I'm telling you guys. And just to add to that statement, I would like to read a quote to you guys by Major General Albert Stubblebine, who is a retired United States Major General, who was not only the commanding general of the U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Command, but was one of America's most distinguished soldiers and chief of U.S. Army Intelligence, with over 16,000 soldiers under his command. He was also a major proponent of what was called psychic warfare, and was a key player in the Stargate project, which was a remote viewing program, wherein which individuals would use an ability to describe remote geographical locations up to several 100,000 miles away without actually leaving their seat. So what did General Stubblebine have to say about Mars, thanks to some of the intel from this remote viewing program? I think you'll find this interesting. He said, and I quote, "There are structures on the surface of Mars. I will tell you for the record that there are structures underneath the surface of Mars that cannot be seen by the Voyager cameras that went by in 1976. I will also tell you that there are machines on the surface, as well as under the surface, that you can look at. You can clearly see what they are, where they are, who they are, and a lot of detail about them." This comes from a major general of the Army, a respected military man who knows what he's talking about. So if you're skeptic, especially about these findings in these rover images, all I ask is for you to keep an open mind and do some more research in your spare time into people like this major general and others who have offered evidence to the contrary. So here is an amazing and bizarre new video of what are called sprites. And this is actually a huge sprite happening over the Caribbean. This was captured by a Mr. Frankie Lucena of Cabo Royo, Puerto Rico. And he was filming the night sky, and he was filming a virtually cloudless sky over the Caribbean Sea when he caught, just for a split second, this mysterious phenomenon of what is called sprites appearing for a split second, a millisecond actually. Now, for those of you who don't know, sprites are one of the most elusive of all atmospheric phenomena, and we still don't really know much about them. But according to mainstream scientists, sprites are transient luminous events that are basically these sort of very strange, almost upside down looking lightning that appear really, really high in our atmosphere and supposedly only occur above thunderstorm clouds. Here you're seeing another video of one of these so-called sprites that were captured by some very high-altitude cameras, about 8 miles high into the atmosphere. And if you'll notice in this particular video, we see what looks like a saucer-shaped object sitting above this sprite. Just as it appears, it almost looks as if you see this flash of lightning come down out of this circular, saucer-looking object, which then disappears along with the lightning. And many people who have seen these sprites have said that these are actually an after effect of these craft exiting and entering our atmosphere, and scientists have actually admitted that this phenomenon is likely created due to a gravitational disturbance in our upper atmosphere. And as I stated earlier, scientists also believe that these things are an after effect, but not of objects leaving our atmosphere, but of simply thunderstorm clouds that are way below. Unfortunately, it seems that they've just been contradicted, because this sprite that you're seeing here over the Caribbean happened just above the ground. I mean, literally, directly above the ocean. Furthermore, there were hardly any clouds in the area, no thunderstorm, and this thing just appears for a millisecond before vanishing. Here is the still image of it, and it's just very, very strange. I mean, you guys look at this, and it's just so different from the lightning we're used to seeing, and the fact that this occurred nowhere near a thunderstorm completely contradicts what scientists have told us about these sprites. Many people believe that there is a cover-up about where these things truly come from, but I will leave it at that. I wanted to show you guys this new footage, and big thanks for capturing this amazing footage. Now on to a few strange UFO sightings. Here is a video recorded in Brighton, England, just a few hours ago, of, again, another one of these strange triangular-shaped formation of lights sitting in the skies, not moving, not doing anything, just sitting there. And we've done a lot of videos on these. Watch our past videos if you haven't seen him yet. But the source stated that he was walking his dog. He saw this formation of lights in the distance, and he sent me a video, which you're seeing here. It's actually a pretty long video. It's about 7 minutes long. And you're seeing a sped up version of it here, just so we can show you a little bit faster so we won't take up too much time. But these things just sit there. Up until the point a large line of clouds come in, and one by one these lights disappear behind the cloud cover. One by one, which you're seeing here. We have one light that's disappeared. We'll go ahead and fast forward to where the second light disappears. There it goes, slowly moving. So these things are definitely sitting there in the sky. And once again, we will move the footage forward, and here we see the last light finally disappearing behind the cloud cover here. So, I don't know, guys. I told you we are going to continue seeing these things, and sure enough, we are. I mean, and I've probably got about 10 more emails featuring other footage from all over the world showing these things, and it's just very strange. We are seeing these formations. It almost feels like an invasion. At this point, invasion of the light formations, but still an invasion of these things. We're seeing them everywhere. So anyone over Brighton, England, see these things, shoot me an email, and we'll try to get to the bottom of it. So big thanks to Mr. Trevino for sending that over. Here's a strange sighting that was recently captured in Belgium. So check this out.
Maar, ja. What the fuck? What the shit is dat? That's fucking weird. Maar dat is wel nice. Dat is echt cool. Kijk, dat gaat in elkaar, dan weer uit elkaar, in elkaar.
Alright, so this happened over Belgium a few nights ago. The source was out with his daughter when they saw these strange lights up in the clouds, moving around, creating these extravagant sort of formations, changing shape, and they had no idea what it was, sent it over to us. My first thought was, could this have been searchlights or spotlights, possibly at a local event or anything like that? So I emailed the source back and asked them, did they think or did they see any spotlights? Usually when you see these spotlight shows, you can usually see the lights coming down from the surface and sort of gauge a location from which they're coming. The source replied back and said that they knew nothing of any events in town that were using spotlights. Furthermore, they said that these lights, whatever they were, they did not have any rays coming down to the surface, but actually appeared as if the light source was coming from above the clouds. And that is what's really strange to me, because we've actually seen these cases before, where we will see lights being reflected onto the cloud cover from above, not below. And through research of my own, I was unable to find anything happening around Belgium. I've emailed a couple friends who are locals in Belgium. They know of nothing. So, again, anyone in Belgium see these things, shoot me an email. Let me know what you guys think. Now, lastly, before we end today's video, I'd like to show you guys a new piece of artwork that may give us some insight as to whether there was a belief in UFOs hundreds of years ago. And that comes from a new book cover that you're seeing here that was recently discovered that contains what looks like a large flying saucer coming out of the clouds on the cover here. And this is an 18th century book illustrated some 300 years ago in 1716, which again appears to show a large flying saucer flying out of the clouds, surrounded by lightning bolts coming out of the back of it, flying over these choppy waters below. Writer Reed Moore, who runs a culture blog, noted that the book, a treatise on mathematics, shows this woodcut illustration on the cover with this saucer-shaped aircraft flying out of a storm cloud, trailed by these lightning bolts. The work, written in Latin, authored by Johann Caspar Funk, a renowned mathematician of his day, is garnering a lot of attention due to the fact that we have a saucer-shaped object which is considered to be a classic UFO shape. And it's causing many to think that this drawing does support the theory that UFOs have been witnessed and or chronicled throughout history. What is unusual in this case is the similarity to the modern consensus of what UFOs look like. The blogger went on to state, quote, "Most specifically, it is the aerodynamically rounded shape of the craft, with the dramatic effect of the UFO appearing from behind storm clouds and somehow propelled by an electrical phenomenon, most likely a magnetic propulsion system of some kind. While strange flying machines have been depicted in art for centuries, this specific incarnation of what is generally agreed and considered to be a classic UFO saucer shape, this is what is unusual, considering the 300-year-old date." So, is this proof that flying saucers were witnessed in the 1700s? Let me know what you guys think. It's definitely not the first piece of artwork featuring saucer-shaped craft descending from the heavens. Now, did you guys know that kittens like to watch Secure Team? She's actually got a ton of anomalous UFO sightings on her channel. You guys will have to go and check it out. So she posted this video just 2 days ago and titled it, quote, "Anomaly Going Down." She said she saw this object stationary above the buildings that you see in the video. That's when she grabbed her camera, and as she did, the object began to descend. And that... This video was sent over by Mr. Cody Berrymint, who sent this cute video over. We have a kitten here watching our newest video, Chasing the UFO, and it's just a very compelling piece of footage. So I wanted to let you guys check it out. As you all know, I have a little kitten myself, so I felt it only right to post this video, which encompasses two of my favorite things. So, Again, let me know what you guys think about everything else we've shown you today. Be sure to stop by and grab your very own Secure Team t-shirt or hoodie. The link to our t-shirt shop is down in the video description. After a lot of demand from our fans and viewers, we are happy to offer a lot of really cool designs, so be sure to head over and check it out, and hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Alright, so thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys back with much more in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.